messed up. We'll correct it later. Good evening. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. As promised, I see Lisa Fleming is in the house this evening. Good evening. Welcome. Thanks for keeping your promise. South Carolina is in the house this evening with Miss Miller. It's good to see you tonight as well. Bear with me as always. My voice is going in and out. There's Faith in the house. Good evening to you. And the young lady with the ever so lovely name, Mahogany Peace, is in the house tonight. As always, welcome. Glad to have you with us this evening. Tracy Taylor, how are you this evening? Haven't heard from you in a while. Good evening. Welcome. Faye says she loves me big time. I love you big time right back. Miss Harrison, good evening to you. Welcome. Lisa Robertson, good evening. Welcome to you as well. It is always a pleasure to see you all on the live feed. Most of you have been here with me on YouTube from day one, and I am ever so grateful for that. That really means a lot to me. Monica Thomas, if you don't call me soon, Jesus is probably going to come and get me. I'm only allotted so much time on planet Earth. Last time I heard your voice, you preached on my show. You had folks putting their shouting shoes on. So tomorrow, if you can, give me a call. Misty Thomas, good evening to you. Welcome. I see Roberta Rich is in this evening. Good evening to you. Tonight, we have 1, 2, 3. 3 stories we're going to speak on this evening. Time permits. Scott. Oh, that's Miss Humphrey. Miss Humphrey, I am glad to have you in the house tonight. Thank you kindly. I love you big time. Okay. 2 things I need to get out of the way before we get started. I want to send out my condolences to my good friend, Robert R. Thomas Jr. from the Real News Behind the News, doing his live feed on YouTube last night. It was interrupted with a phone call that didn't bring any good news. So to Robert and his entire family, you have our condolences. You know the number. If for any reason I can't be reached, all you have to do is look towards the hills from which cometh your help, because he's always there. He's always been there, and he will always be there. But you know, I'm here with you 100%. Anything that you and your family need, let us know, and I promise you, we will make that happen. Again, my sincere condolences, Robert, to you and your family. Now, tomorrow night, I'm hoping we are on air tomorrow night. I'm praying we're on air tomorrow night. We're waiting on some new equipment to come in. I got fussed at the other day, but you know, you get in trouble. But as Congressman John Lewis would say, it was good trouble. It was good trouble. And speaking with Spitting Fire, she got to lay in some things out about this channel that she wasn't overly happy with, and I know some of you feel the same, and I feel the same as well. We just hadn't done the necessary changes to deal with sound quality and the picture. But I promise you that has been taken care of. Hopefully, we'll be able to utilize some of that equipment tomorrow night. But if not, I promise you, this week you will hopefully see a change in our appearance here on this channel. Okay. Tonight I want to pay tribute to a man who has earned respect, not just in the United States, but all over the world. Respect is never given. Respect is always earned. It's just as simple as that. Many times he could have lost his life. Many times he thought he was going to be killed. When state troopers beat him, he said in an interview he just knew that he was going to die. Most people, after that beating or worse, would probably give up and say, I'm going to let somebody else fight that fight. It ain't for me. I'm not going to lose my life for this. I love my people, but I'm not going to lose my life. Something on the inside of Congressman John Lewis wouldn't let him sit still. He kept fighting. Put a post out after learning of his death, and it simply said, Congressman John Lewis, we can still hear your voice. We can still hear your voice. Over 30 years, he fought not to make things better for Black people or any minority or white people. He fought to make things better for all mankind. And he fought that fight up until a few days ago, July 17th, when we learned that he had taken his last breath. So up until that time, Congressman John Lewis was still on the battlefield. I salute you, sir. Have great respect for you. There was only one. There will never, ever be another. Learned a lot from you. He is a man to be proud of. John Lewis is that man. Now, with that being said, I don't care if you're white. Good evening, Barbara. I don't care if you're Black, Mexican, Jew, what have you, male, female. I don't care what political party you're with, Democratic, Republican, Independent, whatever. That's not the way we should look at things. When someone has died, even if you and that person didn't get along, you never saw eye to eye. Sometimes we have to learn to put things on the back burner. Miss G, good evening to you. Welcome, love you big time. And deal with that at a later date and time. None of us make people happy 24/7. None of us make all the right decisions 24/7. If we were to tell the truth, one of the old Negro spirituals said, I've been lied on, and I've been talked about, and I've been criticized. Now, if we were to tell the truth, which would be to tell the whole story, here's what we would say. But I myself have lied on people, have talked about people, have criticized people. But somewhere throughout life, we have to forgive and go on. It's as simple as that. Unless you yourself be a saint. The White House has always been a house to be respected. It was an honor to even walk in the White House on a tour. People from all over the world respect the White House probably more than they respect the president, believe it or not. And that White House on 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue serves as a reminder that all mankind should be treated equal, regardless. And I'm going to leave it at that. Regardless, should be treated equal. When President Barack Hussein Obama was in office and someone died, be it a Democrat, Republican, friend, enemy, whatever the case may be, if they have that worldwide name recognition, if President Barack Hussein Obama did not attend the ceremony, he came to the mic and he spoke on it, and he spoke with kind words, and you could feel his emotion. Sometimes we saw our president shed a tear, a real tear. I think Donald Duck has it wrong. The chair that Donald Duck sits in is not a Trump chair. That's the people's chair. That's our chair. It's not a Trump chair. The place where Donald Duck head now meets pillow does not belong to him. That's the people's house. That doesn't belong to him. Congressman John Lewis has a very, very impressive resume. Very impressive. How can you not like him? How can you not respect him? He was willing to go to jail, to get beat, to be killed for the United States of America. And because you are evil, racist, a person of self-made misery, you have the audacity to announce the other day, no, I'm not going over there. No, I'm not going. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. If that don't tell you that this cat has a child like mine, if that don't tell you that this cat is just completely diabolical, if that don't tell you that this cat is racist, you might be kin to him and think like him. It was a disgrace to hear Donald Duck utter those words about the congressman. Lisa Fleming said, yes, I saw that. Boss Queenie, good evening to you and welcome. Barbara, good evening to you as well. Even when you don't want to go, you go. Because you are representing the people of the United States. What that means is that we could care less about your personal beliefs, your personal agenda, that you should have left at Trump Tower before you entered the White House. It is earthly sad that even in death of a black man, Donald Duck is still not only diabolical and racist, but even in the man's death, he's still jealous of it. It is what it is. It ain't what it ain't. The man is dead, but jealousy still got a hold to him. Donald Duck is the worst thing ever stepped on the earth. The worst thing. The worst thing. He is a disgrace. He is despicable. How can you still let him sit there and say, well, he's leaving in November? That's not a guarantee. Trump needs to be forcefully removed from the White House today. He does not represent the American people. He represents a small group of super stupid black people, a small group of racist white people, white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan, his family. That's who Trump. That's who he's for. And he's blunt. It's hidden racism. Bam, boom, in your face. And he don't give a damn. He don't give a damn. Neil, I love you big time. Thank you so much. Gratefully appreciate you. He don't give a damn. Everything that's going wrong in this country right now with your protests, black people being lynched in 2020, not being prepared for the coronavirus pandemic, everything that's wrong. If you just look at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, you'll know why. When racist white men with assault rifles went to the Capitol looking for the governor, had a bounty on her head. Killer, shooter, stabber. She should be beheaded. Not one time did he say they're bad people. They need to be locked up. I'm going to send the military to break this up. He didn't say that. You remember what he said. But if you don't remember, let me tell you what he said. Well, I think those are good people. That's what he said. That's what he said. But he's using the military now against citizens of the United States to fulfill his hidden agenda. Trump is a body without a soul. It's as simple as that. Bob sitting his big head there lying to Congress, lying to the American people. No, there's no racism. No, Trump's fine. Trump's good. Everything's fine. But he's right to a degree. They don't see racism. Everything is going according to plan for some of the powers that be and racist white folks. So when they say they don't see it, they're not lying. They don't. That's the way it should be. That's why they don't see it. They're not lying. They're not lying. We have to realize this. If the results come in November, and the results say anything other than what Trump wants to hear, fake news, fake news, mail-in ballots, fake news, I'm not going nowhere. He's not moving. He's not moving. It's going to take multiple agencies to drag this duck out of the White House. And this is why. Donald Duck is not used to losing. Donald Duck is not used to losing. If he had to cheat to win, he would have a problem with doing that. But to say he is lost, that's an insult to his little pride. That's why he clutches his pearls, because he can't believe things are against him. I lost this, I lost that. Fake news, no I didn't. I'm still president. Newsflash, you're not the president of the United States. You're acting president until Joe Biden gets there. But here's the thing, people. Realize that he wasn't elected, he was selected. As my brother Tim would say, he didn't buy votes, he bought states. That's what he did. Will he do it again? I don't know. Call and ask Russia. They'll tell you. They will tell you whether or not he would do it again. When you're running against an individual who was once vice president of the United States, he done sat in the White House. And if he was on President Barack Hussein Obama's ticket, he wasn't no dummy. He wasn't no racist. He knew his stuff. A dummy couldn't have walked in there with Barack Obama. Couldn't have. 8 years, vice president, no stain. Trump does not represent the American people. And it's sad when people get upset with you for being upset with his shenanigans. We're not okay with that. I think it's Cornell, Viola. Good evening. Welcome. We're not okay with racism. We're not okay with anyone that comes out of the White House coming to the mic, looking the American people in their face, lying. And they do it with pride. They do it with pride. This country is on life support. We are at a critical time right now. Anything that can go wrong has already went wrong. But this is how we teach our children. If you don't get things your way, you kick and you scream and you lie and you connive just to get things your way. It does not require dignity, loyalty, respect. Just requires you being a jerk. It's as simple as that. B. Morgan, I love you big time. Thank you. Thank you. I think you are amazing as well. I gratefully appreciate you. I love you big time. A system that has never been for us cannot be failing us. Therefore, for us to sit here and wait till November and say he will be out is super stupid. First of all, he was never in legally. So what makes you so sure that he's going to leave? If quiet is kept, he was shocked when he won because he really didn't want to be president of the United States. He just wanted some damn attention. Most people have been doing wrong for so long, they now see the wrong they do as right. And that's why they can sit before members of Congress and lie with a straight face. That individual that's out there right now robbing somebody does not see that as a wrongful act. He don't. In his mind, I got to get me. And you got me, so I need to take it. One thing we did learn during this election, well, I know I did, is that the president of the United States has entirely too much damn power. And so we need to relook at this thing. So it was somewhat good. It was somewhat good. But Donald Duck must go. He don't want to answer the question about his son going to school. Well, I guess he don't have to because that school said they wasn't going to open. But he's trying to insist and make others open up schools to send children. But he's not going to send his child. But he wants y'all to send you out. There's not a school in the United States, quote me, there's not a school in the United States. There is not a school in the United States that school officials can come to you in form of a Zoom and guarantee your child will not get infected with the coronavirus. If they said that, then hopefully you know they're lying. That they can give you no proof that your child will not get the virus. Governors are now saying, we're going to lock it back down. Business that were not told to shut down have decided we're shutting it down. One way or another, the United States will shut down, voluntarily or involuntarily. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. But what else would you expect from educators? Then they say, bring them back. Bring them back. No, why don't you all start having a meeting of the minds and say, well, let's just go ahead and do school online for everyone. It can be done. It can be done. Therefore, school teachers won't be sitting at home with their husband or their wife getting their affairs in order. It's hard enough to get adults to wear a mask, to practice social distancing, than to think about children going back to school. You can claim your day. You can mark it on the calendar. But those are my children. I decide when and if they go back. It's just that simple. Everything is shutting down. Some countries who were not overly infected with the virus now have coronavirus cases rising. You cannot save the economy by killing people. It's just as simple as that. I want to move on to, and I'm going to get to the chip will be the last thing that we discuss this evening. So now I'm going to go to elections. Royal, good evening. Welcome, and welcome. We now have men and women, new men and new women getting ready to be part of the decision-making process in our government. But if the new men and new women that's coming in to take the seats of those who are term limited or we have voted out, if those new men and those new women that are coming has the same agenda as the ones we just got rid of, we don't need an election. Just let them stay. Just let them say what he's at. Because nothing's going to change. If you want to know why it's extremely bad right now, a lot of it goes back to politics. Who you're putting in office that has the ability to make it better for you and yours, but don't do it. We have to start We have to start. In Shreveport, Louisiana, I hope y'all are listening to me tonight. If not, I'll put it on Facebook. You'll get it. Here's the deal. We have to get away from name recognition. We got to stop that. A lot of folks are elected because of their last name. Oh, yeah, they've been in politics a long time. So they go to my church. He's in the NAACP with me, too. Oh, yeah, he's good. Good. That's my family member. That's my neighbor. That's my friend on Facebook. You become part of the problem because of the way you think. We have to stop putting people in office because we know them. Or their family sat there. Well, his mother died, and I think it's only fitting for him to go take the seat. Why? Why? It's two different people. Same blood, two different people. Again, it's the name recognition. I know this person. It's a click. It's a click. That's what it is. It's a click. And it's time that we break that click up. This has gone on for entirely too long. It's time for some new breed, someone with a fresh set of ideas, a new way of thinking, seeing things in a different way. Let me do something right quick. Now, you click that. Oh, you blocked. Okay. During elections, and you've heard me say this before, people you never met before in your life, probably saw on TV, probably never saw, will step foot up in your church, kiss your snotty nose baby, beg on the slick for your vote, promising you unrealistic promises that they know not only they cannot feel, but they have no intentions on doing. I just want your vote. I just want your vote. We play cards together. We in the organization together. And I have nothing but respect for him. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. But that's not the issue. That's not how you pick people for office. That's not how we do that. I was in an organization one time. And I remember, like it happened yesterday, and a member called me. Said, Mr. Scott, I'm running for one of the board members. And can I count on your vote? No, you cannot. I don't like the damn job you're doing now. I mean, we talk every now and then. We meet to discuss issues. But if I had my way, you wouldn't be in that seat. So no, I would not be part of putting you in a seat I know you're not qualified for. Or maybe you're qualified, but your agenda is a hidden agenda. And I can't rock with you like that. I can't. On Facebook, so-and-so running off. You got my vote. Yes, got my vote. Yeah, we need a change. You damn right we need a change. But a change will never come for some of us if we keep putting the same people back in that chair. They have a different name, different face, but it's the same person because their thinking is equal to the ones we just got rid of. When you are choosing a candidate, local government, state, whatever the case may be, here's what you should do. You think about you think about your family, you think about your neighborhood, you think about your city, you think about your state, and whatever you want for you and your family, it should be the same thing for others. It should be the same thing. But if you're not looking at it that way, because he's a deacon at Galilee Baptist Church, that's Pastor Henry's first cousin on the daddy side, over there to Jackie and them. So that's pastor's blood, and if the pastor for him, I'm for him too. Hallelujah. God gave you a brain. When you hear people say, "I woke up this morning clothed in my right mind," you shout and you give God the glory because you're in your right mind. This name recognition, we're going to break that click up. We're going to break it up. It's time for a change. We've been singing that song for centuries. And I'm sure by now, some of you all, like me, you're tired of hearing that song. And you're wondering, when will the change come? You're tired of going to church and they're singing, "I'm coming up on the rough side of it." How long does it take to go up and over the rough side of the mountain before things get better? I'm tired of singing them songs. I'm tired of singing them. We have to become the change that we're looking for. It's simple. It's just that simple. I don't care how impressive a person's resume look. You never know what you got till you get it. They're going to promise this, they're going to promise that, but you never know what you got until you get it. If y'all sit at the house and play dominoes and spade together, no. Your word don't mean anything to me because this is personal to you, but it's business to me. And the city is falling apart because of the so-called leaders that we have. A lot of them have been positioned, but they need to be repositioned. Black people, it is time to uproot the lies, and we got to uproot the lies by the roots. It's time for some new blood in office. It's time. But if you're going to vote for somebody that's just like what's in there, you don't really have to cast a vote. I say just let them sit there then. It's as simple as that. I'm going to be calling on a lot of them for in-person, person-to-person live interviews if we can. Do it person to person, but now we'll do it through social media. And I plan, like I do every election, I plan to ask the tough questions. I plan to ask them the questions that I'm sure you would ask them if you had an opportunity. And we never, ever send out questions in advance. We don't do that. The only time we do that is if we're interviewing somebody on a domestic violence issue and it still may be an ongoing case and we don't want to jeopardize. We may do it then. But you're running for office? We do not send out no questions in advance. Just be prepared. Be prepared. Because sometimes you're running for a seat that don't fit you. But you care more about that title than doing what that title requires for you to do. And we just can't keep doing this to ourselves. We just can't. I'm trying to pull up something. Oh, we got it right here. And we're going to get out of here. And I think I said it the other night, if I'm trying to do something underhanded, under the table, illegal, or it's my self-seeking agenda, under normal circumstances, I can't get a bill passed now I can't because they're going to see through that. But I need this bill passed. Well, in order to get this bill passed, then I must either join a certain issue or manufacture an issue of my own that will go worldwide if necessary. And when that happens, I have a lot of people undivided attention watching that and speaking on that while I'm over here with my shenanigans that's going to affect you and upset you. Every movie you see that is labeled fiction, keep one thing in mind. Every fiction story is based upon some truth. Everyone upon some. Look at Miss Renfrew in the house this evening. Miss Farris, I didn't know you was here. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Magic G, good evening. I know you were here. Did I speak? Cheryl Ray, good evening. Now, if I can start some trouble, and it won't be good trouble, if I can start some trouble, then I can slide this on in there. Huh? Okay, let's do it this way. Your wife, your husband, they're always spending money on clothes, material things. And it's always an argument. You just won't do right. So, in order to keep the peace, your mate done went shopping. There are some items in the car brand new that you need not see. So some kind of diversion has to be done so I can bring my stuff in. And one day I put it out and say, oh, I forgot I had this. I'm wondering, did you bring it in when you said you accidentally ran the sink over and water went everywhere and I had to get it up and you went outside to do something and you came back? And I'm wondering. It can happen. The microchip is where we going. And the truth is the truth, whether you believe it or not. The truth don't change because you don't believe it. There is a chip, a microchip, and it's in some humans right now in the United States. A lot of companies, some of the companies you work for, are secretly meeting with lawmakers. They're asking them for help in planting microchips in human bodies. That way I know where my employee is at all times. I want to get something from the application. I don't have to go pull a file because that chip is in him or her, everything will pop up. Michigan, early this week, here's what happened. They were voting on a microchip. Oh, yeah. Amy Archie said, wow. Oh, yeah. It's going to get real strange in a minute. The Michigan House of Representatives passed legislation that would allow employers to microwave workers on a voluntary basis. Okay, is that true? Some, not all. Okay, here's what's true. On June 24, 2020, the Michigan House of Representatives passed a bill that would prohibit employers from making microchip implants mandatory for employees and establish protections for workers who choose not to use the technology. Good God Almighty, what you say? So we didn't meet to say there will be no microchip. We met to put some restrictions on the microchip. June 24th, the Michigan House of Representatives approved the Microchip Protection Act. It's a 3-page piece of legislation that establishes guidelines for how businesses can use microchips implanted under people's skin. Good God Almighty! New World Order is in your face. It's in your face. It's right there. They're in agreement with this. Do you know how much of an invasion of privacy that we're discussing here? All because someone wants to control you. And when I can control you, then you will do the things that I want you to do because I control you. But let's go a little further with the microchip. You're nothing but a number anyway. They don't see you by your name. Those last 4 numbers, somebody know what I'm talking about. Those last 4 numbers, that's you. That's how they pull you up. If they want to decide whether or not to give you credit, look at their zip code. What is that? 71101? Oh, they ain't got no money. No. If you do not have a chip, you will not be able to get a job. If you do not have a chip, you can't go to school. If you do not have a chip, you can't seek medical attention when you're sick. If you do not have a microchip, you cannot get a bank account. If you do not have a microchip, they can deny you from getting on a plane flying. So I'm hungry. I've been laid off. What if I need food stamps for a while? Oh, yeah, you can apply for them. They're probably there. When did you have your chip put in? I didn't. When do you plan on having it? I'm not. Well, you're not getting no stamps. That sounds foolish, don't it? That sounds like a conspiracy theory, don't it? That sounds like a bunch of bull, don't it? It's just not going to happen. Bull, made up. When a person is easy to fool, easy to please, they're easy to fool. New World Order is in effect. If any of you ever saw this movie, if you haven't, go pull it up and look at it. It's called Rage at Dawn. And I'm going to leave it there. That movie is a movie you should watch. It's scary. Based on fiction, with just a dash of truth in it. Life as you knew it is just that. Life as you knew it. Hello, welcome to your new life. Welcome to your new life. No, you can't get that car because you don't have that chip. No, you can't get your SSI because I'm talking about the law that make laws. Oh, you can protest it all you want, but the powers that be will sit you down extremely fast. One way or another, I'm going to control you. This chip lets them know everything about you. Your favorite movie, color, where you shop at, where you bank at, who you hang around. And now the phones are equipped to tell medical personnel that you might be infected with the coronavirus. I didn't ask you to put that in my phone. They can't just do that to me. Before you speak on what they can do and they can't do, go read the law. Start going to city council meetings. That's where you're going to learn a lot of things. Start researching things for yourself. You haven't seen hell yet, but it's coming. In order to play, you must obey. And if you don't, you're on your own. You're on your own. It's sad that we have gotten to this point. But don't think New World Order just popped up 5 or 10 years ago. This thing was started centuries ago. And everything has been falling into place, whether you like it or not, or believe it or not. It's social control, population control. Now think about something Bill Gates said before we get out of here, and my brother Timmy reminded me of it the other day when we spoke. When Bill Gates once said that this country is overpopulated. From out of that same mouth, he said, we need a vaccine. Oh, wait a minute, what? The Bible says a double-minded man is unstable in some of his ways, a few of his ways, or did it say all of his ways? I'm gonna go with the latter. But is he unstable? I doubt it. I doubt it. You just have to be able to read between the lines. The same man that says this country is overpopulated, now he wants to save your life with a vaccine. Don't take the vaccine. Don't take the vaccine. Don't take the vaccine. It's time for a lot of people to stop sleeping with their eyes open. This thing is scary, but it's going to get worse. That chip is meant to control you. I remember watching a movie some years ago, way before cell phones came out, and it was about a prison. And they would put these collars around a person's neck. And if that prisoner stepped too far outside the circle of confinement, it would shock them until they went back. Now, when I saw that, I'm like, well, we know that'll never happen. Well, some of us said Donald Duck wouldn't be president, but he is. We're going to get out of here. As always, appreciate you all support for this channel and the things that we do and we're trying to do. Again, if all goes well, I'll be back on air tomorrow night, but I got to get set up with some new equipment because Spitting Fire's on my butt about it. She's on the live feed now. And so, and it's all for the betterment and stuff to make the channel better so you know, it look more professional, I guess that would be the word to use. But if you don't see me, I promise you we are coming back. And so remember this, somebody somewhere is counting on you. And whatever you do, don't let that person down. Do not send your children to school. Do not send your children to school. Don't wait on someone to tell you not to go to that store or not to go there or not to go there. Think for yourself. Mask up, glove up. Separate. Separate. You cannot get the virus under control with everything open. California can't be closed and Louisiana is open. Everybody needs to be closed. Everybody. It's painful, but it must be. Mitch, you better have my money. Mitch, you better have my money. And Unemployment, 600. How about 200? Now, if they were not making it on the 600, oh my God, you're trying to kill them double. Well, if they get too much, they won't go back to work. Okay, they paid for this. They paid into the system. But quiet as it's kept, after a while, won't nobody be going outside, nowhere to go to work. You're going to work from your home. Come on now. Mitch he's just as evil and diabolical and racist as Trump. You can see the racism in Mitch. That's the same dude. That's the same little mouse-looking dude that told President Barack Hussein Obama, you're nothing but a one-term president. And President Obama proved that to me, said it with me, a lie. The same dude that told President Barack Hussein Obama, anything you for, we're going to be against. Anything you're against, we're going to be for. But in many ways, President Barack Hussein Obama got their mind right. If many didn't respect him, when he went in there, he earned their respect because of the way he carried himself. And when he spoke on tragedies and things of that nature, he spoke kind words, a low tone. Sometimes it hit him so, he shedded a tear. He said if he had a son, his son would look like Michael Brown. While we're playing games about a stimulus package, people are still dying from the coronavirus. While we're playing games. Congress don't have to recess again until August. Will they take it that far? If they can take it to December, they will. They will. So we're watching it closer to see what's going to happen, but I advise you not to mess up your money. If you can pay some of your bills, pay your bills. It's not a guarantee you're going to get a stimulus check again. In my heart, I believe you will, but that's not a fact. It's just what I believe. But now, be mindful. If you can pay your rent, you should pay it. You should pay it. They don't want to give you anything now. So look out for yourself. Don't disappoint yourself waiting on the government. Too Short said, instead of waiting on the government to help us, we better help ourselves. I love you all, be the Lord willing. I will see you all back here tomorrow night. Again, Robert Thomas, I love you, brother. My sincere condolences to you and your family. A lot of what we talked about tonight, my Facebook page, Injustice Investigations News, Media 7. I love you. Y'all have a good night.